What's up everyone, welcome to another episode of News2Gamers. I'm your host Simon Hill and we've had a pretty exciting week at N2G headquarters. Our offices have been bombarded with news and endless updates from the gaming universe. Let's share some of that with you, shall we? Yes, this is N2G TV, and how much fun did we have on last week's episode? Well, I am super excited about this week. You'll have to bear with me though, as I'm joined by a very annoying cold. Tonight on the show, we see Respawn and delve into many of your childhoods, including mine, after myself and Leanne pretty much begged our director to cover this game. He's finally agreed to it. He won't appreciate me telling you, but I think he's a little bit excited about it as well. In fact, I think he's got the golden ticket. There's your clue. Alongside that, Leanne is back and raring to go with you guys on social media, and in part 2, we see the return of our panel. They're a lively bunch who are ready to speculate on the future of some of the industry's biggest titles. Can't wait. First up though, is the Lowdown. Let's kick it off with Primer Games, the company behind the official Dark Souls 3 strategy guide. They have announced that they are going to release a special edition of its book that includes a replica Estus flask. For those of you who are a little bit lost at this point, allow me to educate you. The Estus flask is a refillable item in the Dark Souls universe that when it's used, it fully restores the player's health. It's usually filled with a fizzling orange liquid that we just imagine to be, well, boiled Fanta. The Dark Souls 3 Estus Flask Edition includes a guide with a premium hardcover, a dust jacket featuring artwork from the game, a mobile-friendly download of the guide, and of course the Estus Flask replica. The bundle is limited and will only be printed once. The company has added when they are sold out, they will be gone forever. Dark Souls 3 releases on PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PC on April 12th. Microsoft has announced the original Dark Souls will be available to Xbox One players through backwards compatibility to those who pre-order Dark Souls 3 digitally. It's pretty exciting, get on it. Right, finally some exciting news for Nintendo fans out there. Pokemon Sun and Moon will be the next titles in the ever-growing series. The games will be available this holiday, that's Christmas for some of us, on Nintendo 3DS. This was announced during its 6-minute Pokemon Nintendo Direct briefing on Friday. No details were shared regarding gameplay elements, but what appears to be concept art and character designs for Sun and Moon have been shown. Additionally, they will come with Pokemon Bank functionality, allowing players to move Pokemon wirelessly from Pokemon Red, Blue and Yellow, which is now available on the eShop, as well as Omega, Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, X and Y to Sun and Moon. Pretty exciting, good on you Nintendo. Right, pretty exciting news now. Capcom has already stated that full HD remasters are going to be a big part of its future business plan, and it's not letting up anytime soon. Resident Evil 4, 5 and 6 are all getting updated remasters on PS4 and Xbox One. Presumably counting down in order of quality, the games will release in reverse order, with Resident Evil 6 arriving on March 29th for roughly about $15.99. It also includes every bit of DLC, all the costumes previously released. After that, Resident Evil 5 will arrive in summer, and Resident Evil 4, which was damn good, will arrive the end of the year. They'll all cost the same amount. No details on additional content have been revealed for 4 or 5. And the info states that physical disc versions will be available in the Americas, but nowhere else just yet. And yet, it did actually say the Americas. I don't know. It's pretty awesome though. Resident Evil 4 on PS4. I'm excited. I'm very excited. You should be. So, if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber, then you'll be getting exclusive access to another Hitman beta. It's from March the 4th, which is this Friday. The beta will only be around for the weekend, with the game releasing a week later on March the 11th. Hitman will now be an episodic game with new locations being released as add-ons. Check out the new cinematic trailer, it's looking pretty awesome, and it explains a bit of Agent 47's past as well. Check it out.
You were always the best. Nobody ever came close. You defined the art, and it defines you. Your actions have changed the world. Powerful men have fallen by your hand, but by the same token, others have risen. Do you realize what kind of world you've been shaping? Does the ICA? Does your handler? I live in that world. I have seen the consequences. I have felt the cost. That's what defines me.
See, I told you it looks good. Right, so we have an awesome Respawn for you now. The era where PC games would come in big boxes and they would be brightly coloured. And this one in particular had a huge impact on me. I just remember my mum walking up to the counter of a Virgin Megastore with a box in hand, seeing the big smile on my face. This became the first PC game I owned. Start queuing up, people. Enjoy the ride.
I'm sure the most vigilant amongst you out there can remember us respawning Theme Hospital at the beginning of the series, and Theme Park World is another one of Bullfrog's classic simulation games released 2 years later in 1999. The game follows a similar theme to the other titles in the series. You're given a plot of land and are expected to develop it in whichever way you see fit to achieve maximum profitability across varied scenarios and climates. To do this, you need to increase the rating of the park by building the most thrilling rides, offering the tastiest refreshments, and, to a lesser extent, keeping your customers safe from harm. You also have to manage staff, keeping them happy and productive to ensure footpaths stay clean, rides don't break down, crime doesn't get too out of hand, and visitors remain adequately entertained. Now, in my opinion, Roller Coaster Tycoon is superior in terms of its game mechanics, potential for creativity and realism, which admittedly Theme Park World doesn't actually attempt to achieve, but Bullfrog's offering actually managed to provide a stronger business management experience. And like its successor, the game is full of archetypal British humour which adds a personality to the game which almost makes it as memorable as the gameplay itself. This game is definitely worth a replay and is likely available in your favourite bargain bin on the high street for fairly cheap. This has been Richard Gullick for Respawn.
Oh wow, what a trip down memory lane that was. I used to play that game religiously. It really sucked me in. Every day I was there building my roller coaster business empire, you know, really taking pride in it. And I really loved exploring the different levels, and the Halloween one was, of course, my favourite. Just an absolutely fantastic game. Right, so we are checking out what's hot at the moment in the gaming world. Here's what you guys had to say. At Smertsy says, anyone else excited for Uncharted 4? Yeah. At Madui is looking forward to the new Mirror's Edge. Unique, fun and fluid gameplay. Great lead character with stunning art style. Hashtag RunFaithRun. At KP Pikachu has tweeted, sitting at work, counting down the hours until I can get on hashtag The Division. At Hazim says, the level of detail in this game is amazing. Hashtag Uncharted 4. Wow, you all seem to be on the Uncharted 4 hype, and to be honest, we can't blame you. Keep sharing the excitement with what games you were excited about or even speculating over. Use the hashtag N2GTV, and of course you can always tweet us at News2Gamers. You can like us on Facebook, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for all your weekly gaming updates. Stay with us after the break as Simon will be joined by a very lively panel. And I think he's got some pretty awesome news on Battlefield 5 to share with us. We'll be back right after this.
Right, I'm very excited to announce an amazing panel now, guys, and I've known these two for quite a while, First up, lead singer of Blue Nation, Neil Murdoch, welcome.
Hello.
Hey, you're back after the first episode.
Yes, I've been welcomed back. I don't know if that means it's a good job or you just you had no other guests.
We just had no one else, yeah,
I thought that was the
it.
case, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
And second in line, Lee Hunt. Now, I've known you quite a while as well. One of the biggest gaming gurus I've ever known.
Thanks, mate.
Right, so we're talking today, guys. Pretty exciting. A lot of speculation on here, but also some facts. Shooters, what's happening, where they're going, what next? The first one I want to talk about, actually, because it popped up in the news quite recently, Battlefield 5. Rumoured by a German game site that it could be set in World War One.
Yeah, they took it down there, didn't they? It was up there, but they got a sneaky screen grab of it, and then it was kind of down. But how's that going to work, though?
I'm not sure. I mean, Battlefield 4 was fantastic, but the thing I find about Battlefield is there's so much focus on the vehicles.
Yeah. Which makes me question, how would that work in the World War One scene? Because there weren't that many heavy style vehicles back then. 1914 to 1918, you had kind of just big, huge tanks, armoured cars, but that was pretty much it.
See, I was going to say that marked that my history is not great, but did the Germans have tanks? Who had tanks? Because I thought it was.
I've got it written down here.
Oh, right, there you go. I didn't look at that beforehand.
That would be interesting to see what they are going to do with a World War One setting.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll concentrate on vehicles? Obviously, trench warfare back then as well. So it was all in the trenches, wasn't it?
It was, and from DICE's last game, Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront, there's a lot of trenches on that, and you can see kind of almost where that's going with it. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah. If it is set in World War One, it would have to be more tactical than the others. In trench warfare, obviously it's got to be bolt action, rifles, scopes, very small scopes on snipers, grenades, dynamite. So. I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty excited if it is going to be that, but it's also going to be interesting to see the vehicle side and what they're going to do.
Yeah.
The next one on the list that I've got down here, which I know you're pretty excited about, Infinity Ward, are they making the next Call of Duty?
Yeah.
No, this goes right back, and you've been streaming Modern Warfare lately quite a lot, haven't you?
I have, Modern Warfare 2, yeah.
Which is still, right up there with probably the last Call of Duty that I enjoyed. Fully enjoyed anyway. Yeah,
I think the thing that I found with Twitch and streaming Modern Warfare 2 lately is the amount, the size of the community still. It's so much fun, and the amount of people that join my channel that want to join my game, and it's kind of everybody remembers it. And it's for me that I'd agree with you in terms of the multiplayer. It was the pinnacle, I think.
Yeah, it's now passed over into that. Oh, do you remember when? Oh, do you remember this? Do you remember this bit? Or do you remember this map? Or
it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, no, and it's we've got the retro games, all that kind of stuff. But that one for me, you're bang on the pinnacle. I remember when I first got to that bit. There, and I remember when I was there, and I remember I was like, no way.
Yeah, running around the favela.
That's it. There's a high rise and terminal and all those awesome levels. But everybody remembers the first time either they got or they saw someone get a nuke in the multiplayer.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, he's got a nuke. No way, run.
Yes, it's like, where do I go? What do I do?
Hide in the plane. Oh no.
I've had so much fun with Modern Warfare 2. And it's seriously, it's one of those games that you go back to, and it's literally like riding a bike. You never forget.
If we had to pin it down, Infinity Ward, so what would it be like from the next Call of Duty?
I'd like an end to the future. I'd like an end to the wall running and the double jumping.
Yeah,
I'd like it to go back to its roots. I'd love to see another World War II game, because we haven't had a World War II shooter for a long time. Because you even think Medal of Honor, when that was redone, that's kind of rebooted. That was all kind of Afghanistan set in the current era.
Yeah,
we haven't had a good World War II shooter
for a long time.
Probably World at War.
Yeah,
I can't lie.
World at War, it would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
World at War, which again I thought was absolutely incredible. World at War was really good.
It's so emotive, and there's so much emotion in that anyway.
Yeah,
and I think because it's history, and because it's further back than the Afghan wars and all that kind of stuff. You kind of get lost in it with the intros and all that kind of stuff. And this is going to sound really lame, but you feel like you're involved in it, even though it didn't happen in your time.
Yeah,
and that's
totally
what
agree,
made me love it, and that's what made me want to go. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Simply simplify it. Let's go back to what was good about it.
Yeah.
Don't overcomplicate it.
Correct.
And again, I mean, how I don't get killed is I just don't jump around. Because everyone's just jumping around, run up.
Well, that's it.
Everyone's forgotten that you can walk and run.
walk on the floor.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Spoiler.
People land, I just pick them off. It's great.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm going to get killed to death
who
now.
needs to run on a wall when you can walk on the floor, you know?
Right. That's right.
Invention of the magic centuries right there. So, next up, the announced, the final announcement, rather than all the teases, of Destiny 2 is now confirmed. That it's happening.
Look at the intake of breath we both just took.
Yeah,
Look, we're on the same page.
I know it is. This is a bit frightening.
Yeah. When it was originally announced, I remember watching the trailer. I was like, okay, it looks interesting, but that was about it.
See, I was more sold than that. When I saw the trailers and stuff like that, I was hooked. I was thinking, this is going to be incredible. It had the whole music thing in there. It had Led Zeppelin, all that kind of stuff in there, and I was like, I'm sold. I'm in.
Yeah.
They're going to marry this perfectly.
Yeah.
And then it happened. Yeah. It was just
then it came out.
And then it came out, and I was just... And I think probably I built it up so much myself that... I'm trying to help the game here. I built it up so much that I was disappointed, but then when I spoke to other people, they were the same.
I can't really put my finger on what I don't like about Destiny, but for me, it's the gunplay mechanics are solid enough without being great.
Yeah.
I think the graphics are pretty enough without being beautiful. I think the gameplay is kind of okay enough without being special. I think the biggest thing for me with Destiny is just feels like a chore. I think Destiny 2 for me has got a... For a start, I don't want a game that's a chore to play.
Yeah.
I think there's so many games that are competing for our wallets, but also our time. Yeah. And to invest the amount of time that you need to invest in Destiny, it needs to be something that is worth investing in. And for me, an endless grind doing the same things for the faint, distant promise of some mythical reward you may or may not get after doing it 100 times isn't enough of an incentive.
Next one.
All right, come on, let's go. Come on.
Titanfall 2. So
I'm not going first. I'll let you go, and then I'll steamroller in. Yeah.
Obviously, it's coming to all platforms this time round. What can they do differently? I mean, it's essentially you in a robot in streets, you know, firing at each other.
He's now reading my mind.
I'm going to defend.
Oh, okay, all right.
So this is going to. This is the first argument. There was a couple we're going to have.
This is it. Yeah, this is it.
I'm looking forward to this. I might take a backseat for this one.
All right.
For me, okay, Titanfall wasn't perfect. And it wasn't.
Strong start,
it wasn't. It wasn't perfect. I actually had a lot of fun with Titanfall. And I did. And I think there were certain mechanics of that game that worked really well because wall running at the time was fairly new. There was a couple of games that had done it before, but in a first-person environment, not a huge amount. So vertical combat was something a little bit different for me. At the same time, as much as I enjoyed Titanfall, I only enjoyed it for a few weeks.
It's coming around to my side of the fence now. It's going to the dark side.
This is where you're going to make up now.
Yeah, it is, yeah. I'm not saying this. It's great, yeah.
I only enjoyed it for a few weeks. It got dull fairly quickly. I think after you got over the whole, like, oh my God, there's a massive robot coming into this world, it kind of lost a bit of appeal. The campaign, I want to put this politically correct, was absolutely shocking. How on earth you can expect to call it a single-player campaign when it's an entire online game?
It's got to be different. There's a reason it's called campaign. There's a reason it's called multiplayer.
Correct.
It's got to be different.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah,
it
definitely.
totally has.
Really straightforward. Titanfall. Boring. Boring. Again, all right, a bit like Destiny. I completely agree with you. You know, it's a big robot. It's a big-ass robot. This is cool, right? Yeah. The minute you go into one of them, you're like, oh, I'm in a robot. Did you just not feel? You're pressing every button. There was no tactics to it for me. I was trying. Right, I defend that. Fire, massive rocket. Yeah,
it's a robot,
which is great. But I'm in a robot. Why is that little dude killing me? It was like, I can just squash him. It's just like, this is just not real enough. I know you can't have massive robots.
There is that element of Transformer. Little person in there,
rocket.
You know.
Oh my God, I'm gonna
again, Michael Bay,
absolutely, because I didn't stick my shield hand up. It's like I've just again, so excited for it. And I remember speaking to my mates. I even spoke to my missus about it, and she was like, "You're really stoked about this." And I was like, "Yeah, I know." And then I thought, campaign, get used to it. I was like, "What is this?
Yeah.
Why am I getting absolutely annihilated?"
Yeah.
It was just like,
How do I put it on easy?
yeah, exactly. How do I get used to this? You know,
I've absolutely loved this section because I haven't had to do anything.
Sorry, mate. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's been brilliant. Carry on. Well, that was interesting, boys. Thanks.
So that was the most passionate I've been about something in ages.
Definitely. It was. You know what? I've known you a long time.
Sorry.
And even at your wedding, you weren't that passionate.
But the missus did say boring for some reason.
Right. Still on my list was Gears of War 4 and Halo Wars 2, but we haven't got time. So that's how interested I am in both of those. Guys, thanks for coming on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure to have both of you.
It's been good fun.
Yeah.
Neil Murdoch, you've just released your new album for Blue Nation.
Yes, yeah.
Where can they check you out?
It on the website, bluenation.co.uk is probably the best way. Yeah.
Awesome. And if you want to check out Lee Hunt playing Modern Warfare 2, running around the favela, blowing shit up, where do they go?
Or dying a lot. That's www.twitch.tv/EternalLeeHD.
Perfect. Right, so guys, check them both out, and we'll be back next week with some awesome news. I've got some brand new trailers to show you as well. Keep it locked. News2Gamers.